Hey, welcome to another episode of Peaked. My name is Frank Castillo. This is my great co-host, JP Noda.
What's up?
Today's guest is the illustrious Luke Schwartz.
Wow.
What's that mean?
What an honor.
Illustrious?
Yeah.
You guys.
I don't know, man. Elegant?
I don't know what it means.
I just know it's a good title.
It sounds like what it is. There's a term for that.
You are
Damn.
perfect when it comes to vocabulary and grammar and such.
I just try to be nice and good.
But before we started, we were talking top 5 placements.
Well, yes, the idea of being in a place.
Okay, that's so existing.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
Oh, right. Yes, sure.
Number 2 would be dinner
you high
placements.
already?
Oh, absolutely. We showed up so ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was focused at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I went to.
Wow, you got up early.
I got work.
Oh yeah.
Our dispensary opens at 7, so I started at 6:30.
And you open.
Because stoners wake up early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are there stoners showing up at 7 in the morning?
There's not.
Yeah, it should like 11 or 12.
I think we see like 1 or 2 people before 9 a.m., which is when we used to open.
What do they look like?
People?
I mean, do they look like me, or are they like
Are they like business type?
adults?
It's usually like last week we had someone who like they started construction on their building, so they're up early, and so they came over shit like that. It's usually not like a regular customer. It's like, oh fuck, you guys are open. That or like sometimes on Fridays people will get like their checks and they'll pull up early.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I get that. I've been that guy.
First second they can, yeah. Absolutely. Happy hour specials going on from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Wow.
That direct deposit hits.
Yeah.
I've heard stories of people. There's one story I heard. It was of someone going out and they stayed out in the club till past midnight because they knew the direct deposit was going to hit. So the things that they had to pay for was going to clear at the club.
Oh, so they had to say they didn't close.
They had
Yeah,
to
they
take
didn't
away.
close until after
yeah,
midnight.
That's very good. Yeah, what a good society we live in.
Just living it up.
I was until 6 a.m., bro, so I would have been fucked.
Yeah. I know that feeling. So this is your first time. I mean, you smoke obviously, but this is your.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do.
You've been to the back and sacred ground of us smoking weed and such.
Yes, Frank.
Of course.
Yeah.
I
I work at the Comedy Store, yes, and when I'm off the clock, sure.
of course, yeah,
I'll
of course,
partake.
yeah. Always when we're off the clock.
Yeah.
Although I do remember when the management switched over, I got stoned before a phone shift, and Eric came up to me and was
Yep.
like, "Hey, man. It's not a good idea to smoke weed in front of the camera before you start work." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess we're not doing this anymore."
Yeah, there is a place that's off camera now for sure.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I've been smoking weed probably since I was like seriously when I was like 17. Mm-hmm. And like it was pretty much every day, and then it's tapered off in my later years, but I've been around.
But this doesn't.
The highest I ever got was I did that cannabis cup or something.
yeah, the
thing.
high times.
Oh man,
Yeah.
and it was my first dab.
Yeah,
I think.
let's talk about it before we get into this because I want to make sure to walk you through it. Nice.
And there was a bud tender, right? And she was like, "You want to do a dab?" And I've heard about them, and I was like, "Let's try it out." And I went up, and you were there, and you did your, and everyone did it, and I cleaned the mouthpiece off, and I took the hit, took a pretty good hit, and it was like pretty big, and the woman was like, "You gonna clear it?" Might as well have said bitch. Like, you gonna clear it, bitch? Like, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll clear it. They're pretty good. Coughed a bunch, and then boy was I had to go outside. I wasn't panicking because I've been super high a lot, but I couldn't look at my phone. I just had to be bored for an hour to come down, and then I was still like quite high, but I was manageable. But like I really couldn't talk. I was just sitting outside.
Was that
found
when
some shade?
Was that when the
San
stand-up was
Bernardino.
in the? Yeah, it was in San Bernardino. Was it in the auditorium?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, in like an airplane hangar.
Yeah, it was literally the worst place to do
And
that.
The audio was probably terrible.
and the audience was like around and like kind of like walking around and like part of the audience, but like pacing back and forth and really like it was fine. It wasn't the worst gig I've ever done. You know what I mean? But like I was really high. I did very well. I didn't do much material, but it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. There's.
I couldn't. Frank called me a couple times. I couldn't answer the phone.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
couldn't.
because I didn't know where you went.
I went outside.
Yeah, you literally went and sat next to a tree for like an hour. You're
Yeah,
like,
I was
this
in
is
San Bernardino in the summer. It was very hot. I had found the only shade I could. I was just like sweating, going like, I know this will pass, but boy, is it taking a couple years.
Yeah, well, this is not that. Welcome to something a little easier.
Yeah, great.
We have low temp settings for you.
Thank you.
And then, hold on, let me load you up. What's the first one we're loading up?
That one's going to be the Stanky Belts. It's from our buddies over at Hash and Flowers. They came by and blessed up with a couple of flavors for today. But it's Stanky Belts. It's a Rainbow Belts Fino. Rainbow Belts is a cross of Moonbow and
things
Skittles.
you get for 10 cents at the drugstore.
Named after that.
Yeah,
because of the Skittles that's in there. The strain Skittles. So it has a very fruity flavor. The reason they call it Stanky Belts is I've never smelled the Rainbow Belts like this, but it's almost like a putrid sweet smell. Like it's kind of gross, but in the best way.
Okay.
But when you dab it, it doesn't really carry through. It's mostly that
and don't we
traditional
love
Rainbow
the
Belts.
sticky icky?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that stank
funk.
that it has on it.
It tastes much better.
And am I getting? Oh, I'm getting this guy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It'll buzz when it's ready. Is it already heating up, Frank?
Yeah, it's already heating up.
Great. When once science really got involved, I was more of a nature guy, but this is very much the science. Oh, it's buzzing.
It's ready.
It's ready to go.
Okay, and
So
then I just.
only inhale as much as you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
So you should get mostly that very sweet kind of candy flavor on the back end, but it's
Sure,
kind of a little bit gassy inhale from that Moonbow, which is the do-si-do, but then kind of really does
Moonbow,
clear
which
with
is the
all
do-si-do.
Skittles. Yeah. A little bit of funk. That's where the cookies funk, I think, comes from in the smell, is from the Moonbow.
Dude, you spitting, man.
Stanky. The smell translate, like I just got a whiff of it. You can smell like that super sweet kind of putrid smell, but when you dab it, it like I said, it can become super like candy. It doesn't have any of that funk in it, really. It's really nice.
You guys have joysticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Frank didn't bring his.
I don't. Oh yeah. That's okay. I don't think
Increased airflow.
I think it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got. Yeah.
Did you taste it?
Yeah. It's nice. You know, I've really, in all my years of smoking, which has been, since I was, and I'm much different age. I've never noticed a difference between indica and sativa or anything like that, or like nothing really.
Interesting.
It just gets me high and it works.
Yeah.
And I think it depends on like what mood I'm in, and that's what the high is. It
Definitely
doesn't.
see
It's
that,
not like
for sure.
I get kind of tired on all of them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. No, we definitely,
get
it's subjective, and that's
tired.
what like THC itself is a sedative. So like anything that's super high in THC, if you don't smoke a ton like all the time, but you're a pro. So, but yeah,
well, I'm not a pro like
make
you.
you tired.
I'm a seasoned amateur. I'd say you guys are paid to do this stuff.
Practice.
Well, it's always fun to see you walk in the back and then just of us usually just chugging and, just to see you be like, oh, there you guys are again.
Yeah, and it's often, it depends on who you're with. A lot of the time, it's really cool guys, and then sometimes if it's someone that I know, I'm just like, I'm good.
My favorite is you. I mean, you, like me, don't hide it well when we walk in the back and there's
No.
people where you're like, well, okay.
I do have a bad poker face.
Yeah.
Bruce Gray said recently, he's like, when Luke is pissed when he's pronouncing every syllable? or like, I'm not impressed. You're like, have you seen him do comedy? He's like, I have seen him do comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so you've worked at the door and the phone system for a very long time, right? So we both worked Potluck, so we got to see the craziness that is. I mean, that's where we met. We met at Potluck. But, like, we've seen the craziest people.
I missed some of them.
Me too.
There was a guy who came by last night who was kind of a black dude who sold stuff, not Boone.
Yeah.
Boone's kind of new Boone. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
Shorter guy. And he, like, comedy adjacent, but I saw him for the first time in a long time. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You made it through.
Yeah. Remember there was Burrito Lady?
Pam.
Burrito Lady Pam. So she would come
Burrito Lady, sure.
She would come and sign up at the
I
open
miss
mics.
Addleston.
Addleston was the best.
Fitzgerald Holder the first. He was a big Jamaican dude. And would wear. Do you ever see those viral videos, Mr. Pregnant, in the early days of YouTube?
That was him.
Like that was that guy. Yeah.
So there was a long conversation of whether or not he was a genius or whether or not it was an act or if he was just a crazy person. Because that was the thing, is you couldn't tell.
It's nice just sometimes with a person like that who is very much on the edge of whatever. It's nice to just enjoy them.
Yeah.
And just be like, I don't have to figure out if they're a genius or they're bad. I can just enjoy them because they're here by their own volition, signing up for an open mic at the Comedy Store on Sunset Boulevard, where we got on Mondays averaged about 170, 180 people signing up. It got up to like 212, 213 around there, and it got as low as 100 on holidays. On holidays, it would be like if everyone was going home, maybe like 100 people.
How crazy
people.
was the New Year's, though? Because we always called them New Year's comics. So
resolution comics.
Resolution comics.
So
like, I'm gonna try
early
it this year.
January is you get a big spike,
300.
and it's people who are nice people, good people,
Sweet, cool,
very excited, really want to tell you their life story.
You know,
and
improvisers.
I've been watching Kill Tony for 6 months.
yeah, and it's also that. Yeah, it's a mix between like theater kids who are too oversharey, and then like people you're like, I hope you don't have a weapon.
Yeah.
But it's your resolution to be here right now.
That was also my favorite. Occasionally you'll get the Vietnam vet or like the military guy who's like starting to do comedy and we're just like, oh, that guy's definitely killed people. And now he's hanging out with people who are like, I'm chasing my dream. I used to work in tech.
I mean, Karasalis will tell you all
yeah.
the stories.
Karasalis was the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he just screaming at some like doe-eyed kid from Ohio that just got off the farm.
Well, yeah, he also would. I'm probably telling tales. You maybe bleep his name out, but he had pictures on his phone from wartime pictures. Really.
Yeah.
But his
great
comedy
5
was,
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Who else? I mean, Boone was great, but also El Tocho was one of my favorients. I miss
Boone.
El
I think
Tocho.
R.I.P.
I know. I really
There's
hope
no
not.
confirmation on that, but yeah.
Boone was I mean, how would you explain Boone?
He was a transient person who sold items for usually $1. It started as $1.
Yeah, and then all the new people came and started
it was
giving
Hormuz.
Hormuz would give him $3 or $5.
And then he got the idea that he could
Upped his prices,
man.
dog.
Yeah, Booneflation.
I used to get
500%.
I used to get the coolest T-shirts for like $1, like random, like sweet.
He would bring a big bag or a box of something, and it was always like a different bag and box. And he had luggage that he would pull in. He would set up, and it was honestly because there weren't a lot of people at the Comedy Store at that time. It was in the dark times, they call it, and there was room for him to like put all the things.
He was the best.
Boones and Noble.
Boones and Noble.
It was Banana Republic. Yeah, and I got a bunch of Wolf shirts.
I got so many shirts.
I know you have like that Browns jacket.
Yeah,
right, too, right?
I got a huge. I got a legit Browns jacket that was like official, like sideline, like it was crazy. And then I would buy so many random shirts and I'd give them to my wife, and my wife knew who he was. And I remember there was a story of her driving down Sunset with her coworker, and they saw Boone at the bus stop, and she was like, "Oh, that's Boone Shakalaka," and she was like, "You know a homeless guy?" She was like, "Oh, he's not a homeless guy. He's my friend."
He could be both.
Yeah.
And there was rumors that he had an apartment in the Valley.
There was rumors that he had like a hub.
Well,
apartment.
he had to, and he always go. He go, "Where'd you get this, Boone?" He go, "I got it from the store."
Yeah.
And he wouldn't tell you any details, but he had a connection that would just like get, I don't know.
And he'd been there so long at the store that who was it? Old comic.
Yeah, I bet.
Hilarious. Louis Anderson.
Oh wow.
He came to the
Another
store
RIP.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came to the store and he saw Boone and he was like, "Boone Shakalaka's still here?" And he was just like, "Dude, how long have you?" He was like, "Whoa, he was there for a while."
Yeah, really thought Boone was going to be around for a
Tough
long
year
time.
for people at the store.
Yeah.
Tough year. A lot of people.
How early into Roast Battle's existence did Boone open Roast Battle?
From the beginning, I think, right?
Very early on when it became a show.
Yeah.
When the wave started, which was Jack and Garrick and Keith.
Yeah. Wow.
And yeah, that was the
original
used to kick
wave.
people out of those spots. And
Yeah,
then
that
it
was fun.
evolved and then became
Yeah.
a TV show.
Yeah.
But Boone wasn't doing it very early on, and then
He always came out to Proud Mary.
yeah.
There's nothing that I love more, and especially when it comes to Los Angeles, then seeing a show open up and seeing people that are like tourists, not from LA or whatever.
Well, if other shows are sold out and then they got a ticket to the Belly Room
Roast battle,
accidentally,
they would
Roast
show up,
battle,
and then
or,
they're like,
or
"What
Ding
is
Dong
this?"
Show or Crack 'em Up.
It's
Like
like-
half the time, it's a great show.
And they'd be like, "What is this?" And then they see Boone in full drag show up and just sing, lip sync "Proud Mary," and everyone's going wild and crying. Yeah, and they're just like, "What the fuck is this?" And then Joshua Meyerowitz would run up, who's an autistic kid, and jumping up without his T-shirt up and down, and then people would go up and make fun of each other, and I would see people's minds just explode because they're just like, "I have no idea."
Some people
what this
didn't have
is.
a good time.
Yeah, some people did not have a good time. Other people loved it.
Yeah.
I remember there was a Russian lady who got so mad that she ended up like getting up and like storming out, and then they made fun of her for so long after that.
What's the wildest complaint you guys gotten like after like a roast battle?
Oh, I mean, not even a roast battle.
People should be ashamed of themselves. Like, I can't believe they're saying it. And I go, yeah, some of it, you're right, actually.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Where I'm like, you're not wrong.
You've had experiences in your life, and you've lived a whole life, and it's brought you to this point, and you disagree with the actions and words being espoused. And it's like, that's fine. You can believe that.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Working at a comedy club it's such a crazy. It's like working at a family-owned restaurant. You know what I mean? It's just there's no rule. It's crazy.
There's rules. I try to make there be
Yeah,
rules.
yeah,
I get
yeah.
this with like, you can do whatever. It's like, you can't do whatever. We'll kick you out. There was a guy, I'll probably talk about him on my podcast that you should listen to called The Doorcast. But he came in and was just like, I'm going up on stage, aren't I? Come on, I'm going up on stage.
That energy's the worst.
And it was just such a thing that he should have known better. And yeah, sure, you could load me up again. That'd be fine. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it. But he came in with just such a talkative attitude. Fine, okay. I'm going up, right? I go, no, you're not going up. He goes, no, come on, like 30 seconds. I'll say how much I like it, and then I'll introduce the next guy. And it was just like, it's just accept the no. Just accept it, that you're not going up. Well, it's hard for some people.
Did he walk up on stage?
I don't think so, but he ended up getting asked to leave.
Yeah,
by security and
I remember I was working the
Which is
door,
great.
and a lady was just being the worst, and then she was kept like heckling and just being loud and just being just not. And I had to like tell her, I was like, you're gonna have to leave, and we got into a full argument. I was like, you have to leave. I'm kicking you out now. And then she sent an email to Eric.
Sure.
And he came up to me and he pulled me up and he was like, hey, man, did you get in an altercation with a lady last night? And I go, yes. I explained it to him and he goes, all right, well, he was like, I believe you. And I wasn't on your side until I finished reading the email because halfway through it, she called you Danny DeVito. And then she said she had spent a lot of money on their expensive wine at the store. And she goes, we don't have expensive wine here. So I know she's lying.
Well, all our drinks are expensive. So just by default, that's expensive wine.
I was like, you mean the overcharge? Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell the secret.
No, it's Sunset Strip prices.
Yeah.
You have to, the building, we pay rent still, I think, or something. Like, it takes a lot to run
Yeah, absolutely.
the thing. You're going to get charged, $12 for a beer. It sucks. It's terrible, but what are you going to do?
Who's so there's been a lot of cool celebrities at the store that have passed through. Who's one that you didn't know was there when you've done stand up and you're like, holy shit?
Oh, interesting question. I'm pretty sure because it's such a gossipy place that like everyone knows who's going up, who was there recently, or like who's in the crowd. Steven Adams came by the other day, the basketball player, and that was really cool. And he was very chill and sat in the back and was cool. Like when a celebrity doesn't do any, like that's the whole story. That's cool. Everyone was buzzing over Idris Elba the other day.
Wait, what?
That was a big one.
When was that?
Just the other day.
Oh, this is the last of it. Oh, okay. When just the other day,
This
like
is still the rainbow belts.
No, this one's gonna be the honey papaya.
Whoa.
There's none left because I.
oh no,
smoked
wait,
it all.
actually, this is still the belts
Why?
because I think I didn't open up the correct one. Hilarious. Well,
Yeah,
you
it's
can go
my
ahead and handle it. Oh, you don't have to if you don't want. Can you handle another one?
Can you get off?
You gonna clear it?
Yeah. Don't be nasty. Don't be mean.
Yeah. So Idris Elba was cool. What's the bad guy from Narcos? He saw my set. when I was in the OR. He
Which
just walked
bad
in.
guy?
That
Aren't
was
they all bad guys?
hilarious. No, my bad. Ozarks, the Navarro. He came in.
Don't watch it.
No, what?
It's too stressful. What do I need more stress? I'm sure it's quite good. There's enough TV that I don't have to watch that one. You know what I mean?
Okay.
People bad. I don't watch shows.
Who do you want to ask him
But what?
the bombing question?
Well, I mean, just like, so like we've seen like T.I. go up and do stand up. Who's the worst celeb you've like had come in? They're like, I'm doing stand up now, and then just watch them.
Besides Piven, let's see. It's very interesting. I don't have a good answer off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
No, please.
Bad, because I've seen, actually, there's someone I've seen recently who is a seasoned stand-up who was never really that good, who got famous, who got really famous, and has been coming back to stand-up and was kind of a jerk, and then in the past few weeks has really turned it around and really like started being like honest and slow and good on stage. And was a jerk a couple weeks ago, was a real asshole to me, and then has been very sweet since.
That's good.
Yeah, so
It's nice when you see him turn a corner. And
that was cool to see, and let's hope it sticks. Who knows? That'd be great. It'd be great for everybody.
Or if that a fucking mushroom trip or something.
all right. So this is the honey
Honey
papaya.
papaya. Yeah, there you go.
And you know about all these, JP. You're the expert.
I've been trying them all day.
I mean, that's how you get expertise in something.
Yeah, this one's the honey papaya. So we've had the honey banana on the show before, which is Bubba Kush and strawberry banana, I believe. And this one
That
is going
sounds
to
right.
be, this is going to be the honey banana times papaya bomb, which is papaya and THC bomb. This one, you'll have a lot of that papaya flavor up first, so a lot of that sweet kind of stone fruit. And then it'll kind of finish with the creaminess from that strawberry banana.
Can I ask who is doing this?
Doing
Not
what?
who are the people that are like making these things? These
Thinking
companies?
that
Who are
a bunch
these
of, A bunch of
people?
wooks in the mountains.
He doesn't know what a wook is.
Unfamiliar with that term, and
something
I hope I.
Oh, yeah.
It's not something like.
No.
It's not like a weed slur.
Yeah,
Maybe it is. But that one's a lot sweeter, a lot fruitier off taste, and it has like a nice like thick creamy smoke from the strawberry banana.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites. I was like really stoked when I tried that one.
Oh, I forgot. So this is the new droplet that they just put out. It's from the Puffco. Is the proxy attachment. It sits in and it rips like crazy.
Oh,
you don't have to hit this because I don't want to send you to.
I'm okay.
Yeah. But I will.
Yeah.
It's like the chug on it. It just like feels like you get so much more smoke. And it really kind of like earlier wrecked when we had it for the first day. I was not expecting for it to chug that hard.
It feels like I'm walking around with a really cool spray can.
Oh, hit it again. Yeah. That it looks great. I like the blue.
My favorite thing is like the way that the water, like if you put cold water in it, it like frosts up and stays frosted. Like it looks like every video I've seen of them has that like super cool and it looks
thermos
refreshing.
action.
It looks beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah. As the aesthetics.
I had the friend in college who had the percolator. That was like when you had to get ice water for the percolator bong.
Put in the ice catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
The ice catch is exactly that. Yeah.
That was always my favorite though, because like the fact that you feel like you can rip so much more at once.
The beginning of the science days.
The beginning of the science days when
That
people.
was really.
Well, a lot of those like they call them scientific glass because they were made like on lathes and like a lot of times they'd like try to put some science into the engineering of it, like into the percolation and everything.
Listening to, I've
Adding
gotten way too high and watched YouTube videos of people that have blown glass and all, but hearing them talk about the functionality and like the chug and the design, like I was like, oh, that actually, there's a lot of like thinking that goes into that. So it kind of, I don't know, I just being a stoner was kind of like, oh, I didn't think that was going to be.
And it's like Roar Glass. I'm pretty sure they're headquartered in Germany. Like so, it's like one of those things where it's like super high end engineering, like going into something so.
And they
the
do
volcano,
everything
I think,
right,
are
don't
also
they?
German.
Or whatever. But yeah, that Roar was that was like the expensive one that was cool. Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. I have one at home that's my favorite. Now, like, they've become a lot more affordable, which is nice, but still, like, keep up their quality.
Oh, that was also that's funny. But there's a Boone Shakalaka came
Sure.
once, and Hormos bought a bong off of him for like $5, and he looked it up, and it was like a $500 like not. I can't remember who it was a
Like
legit.
an Illadelph or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I think it was an ill. It was yeah. So
That
he
sounds right, actually.
So he had to
Yeah.
come back and like give.
Wow,
he came
interesting.
back and gave Boone another $100 because he was like, "You realize you just sold me like something
Oh yeah,
insane?"
that's right.
That's
He did
fire.
go back and do that.
Yeah, no, that's right. There's also like, I forgot who the fucking glass maker is. But it's called it's called the peyote pillar because the perks look like little peyote cacti.
Okay.
And that's like the smoothest bong rip I've ever had. It's really bugging me that I can't think of who makes them now. Fuck.
You've gone into done. You've done mushrooms.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, but you so
So
it's
the
like
cops are here. I don't want to. Everyone's banging on the door.
Yeah, smoking in there.
You were trying to make me admit things. Someone came in too early to try and arrest me. Are you kidding me? What's going on here? We're right on the street. Someone just opens the goddamn door and comes in. I tried to play it off, but I couldn't not. I'm sorry. I had to talk about it.
absolutely, yeah, that's fine.
Because for a second you go, am I that high?
Yeah.
Oh,
Am
yeah.
I that high? That
heard that shit?
I'm hearing
You
someone
feel
knocking
that
at the
high?
door, but someone actually was
Yeah,
there.
someone was at the door.
And the professionals here went out and took care of it, and everything was fine. It was great. Good job, boys. A YouTube rabbit hole for bongs and stuff is pretty good. That's a good YouTube rabbit hole. I've been doing people good at their job, and that gives me such satisfaction.
Wait, what do you mean people good at their job?
The guys who are fast at doing the thing, the guy who chops the onion in his hand, flips it around. I watch that once a week, probably. Just gives me, I go, yeah, man, he's doing it. He's really doing it very well. The board guy in the factory that pops the things off the thing, that gets it right in the basket.
What's the one thing you feel like you do that well?
Uh,
Or the one thing you'd want to be that good at doing?
Unfortunately, it is working the back door at the Comedy Store. That's the closest I come to that, and where I really am on fire. I got a compliment. This woman came in for Dave Hellam's show the other day. It was like, that was very efficient and polite. I appreciated that. And I was like, you're welcome. Enjoy the show. She was
What's the worst thing an audience member or customer said to you at the store?
Oh, God. People jump up and down. People stamp their feet when they get really childish. That's when I really go, okay. Yeah. And a couple times I'll bring out I've done this like twice in the 9 years that I've been working there, where I go, okay, someone's like, I want my bill, or I want this off the thing, or why didn't Bobby Lee show up? And I go, okay, what do you think an adult would do in this situation? And it's such like an ender, and it's only,
Yo.
But usually I panic, and usually people don't deserve that. But like once in a blue.
What did you say? You fucking have some of the funniest shit that you've said to customers that definitely, where it's like Luke moments. Didn't you say something to a UFC fighter, an MMA fighter?
Oh yeah, I just didn't know who he was. It was, and I still don't. I think his nickname was either Bones or T-Bone.
I was like, John Jones?
John
Bones
tall
Jones?
black dude.
Yeah, John Jones.
Who looked like a UFC fighter. You know what I mean? He came in, and I was just like, he looked like a normal, big, nice guy, whatever. I go, here. He goes, I'm not sitting there. I went, okay, how about here? We're not sold out. It was the old days. I was like, here? He goes, I don't like people. I was like, okay, man. You want to sit off to the side? It's $20. He goes, okay, yeah, cool. And he gives me $20. And I was like, great. Like, it was like, well, why is he so rude? You know? And he wasn't that bad. But I went back over, and Garza was like, that was Bones. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. He's sitting over there. Yeah, he's sitting over there. He was mad at me for a second.
Someone forgot one of the best. Garza forgot who someone pulled in the lot, and he sent him away, and he didn't realize it was like a crazy rapper or something, or someone like really, because also he doesn't listen to like music or whatever.
Sometimes you just don't know the people. There, I think Jerry Sue is a skateboarder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
comes in
Enjoy.
once every 3 or 4 months, and he's always like chill, and I never recognize him. And then some like skater goes, "That's it." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've seen the videos. That's great."
Were you there when Scorsese showed up?
No.
That was hilarious. We were talking about it earlier today.
My favorite
So
story.
Scorsese shows up, and it was right after they had the meeting about not selling the booths. and which they have like every 2 months. But someone at
We make minimum wage, and they don't want us to ask for tips on a thing that people would be happy to upgrade.
exactly.
For.
You know,
It's fine.
It only pays our rent at the time when we're
I
whatever.
buy groceries with it. But
It's so
okay. It's
anyways,
okay.
give money to our guys. Scorsese pulls up, and it was Burner at the front.
Sure.
And there's a huge long line. It's sold out. And Scorsese tries to like palm Burner like $100 or like $200.
That's nice.
And Burner just lets it fall to the ground.
Oh my God! Just like the least cool thing.
Yeah, he just lets it fall to the ground, and Burner's like so obvious about it. He's just staring at it. And he goes, "You dropped your money," and Scorsese's just like, "Oh," he goes, "Yeah, the back of the line's that way."
Oh my God!
And then so he's like, "All right." So then he tries to go. So Scorsese and like his friend like walk to the front bar, and they like
Smart.
And Eric Anderson's there, and they talk to him. He's like, "Hey, is there any way we can like blah blah?" And like Eric's like, "No, sorry, line's back there."
No one's recognizing him.
No one's recognizing him. And then one of the security guards runs over and he goes, "That's fucking Martin Scorsese." And Eric's like, "Oh shit!" and runs back. And they walk him in, and they end up going to the main room and seeing. But Scorsese and his friend were literally just handing everyone $100 bills.
That's how to be a rich person.
Yeah.
Hand out money is always very cool.
Yeah.
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 There's people I don't like that I go, he's a cool guy. He hands
yeah. Yeah. That's so fun. Questlove was there. I saw that was the cool one. Ant-Man was there.
Yeah, part of for the Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
right?
That was the Chappelle thing. Yeah.
That's so
Well,
funny.
there's like one
knowing
of my
Ant-Man.
first nights hanging out with you. I think like Shia LaBeouf was there.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
been
he
there.
was.
He's been there a few times.
I think like I've heard Gronk had been there before.
Someone from the Grizzlies is there last night. He saw me do stand-up in the main room.
It's like, didn't he just say that? Oh, no, that was a dude.
Clark Duke, who was in The Office and in I'm Dying Up Here,
Yeah.
he went to the club for research and was like pretty chill. And, you see someone, you're like, oh, okay. Come on in, whatever. He sits in the normal seat. He's early for potluck. He doesn't know any better. He sits kind of in the front row, and everyone's freaking out.
It was him and one other dude.
But I don't know the other dude. The one open micer went, "Oh my God," from on stage.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my God," and then Clark was like, "Yeah,"
And
and then the guy was like, "Yeah," he like froze. He didn't like.
and then proceeded to have a conversation with him. He was like,
He's
so
like, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "Watching you. You did not do anything. Like, do something." And he's like, "Oh yeah, traffic is dating in LA. Is weird."
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's so funny, dude.
Here's a little bit about
so
me.
funny.
I was like, but a comic did something very embarrassing who will remain unnamed, but you know them. And he went up and had the piano player play something from Hot Tub Time Machine. And then he went up on stage. He goes, "Did you recognize that? I played that for you."
I remember who it
And
was.
I was just like,
so
this is
funny.
dude, don't do that. David Letterman showed up one time, and Guam was like, "You guys, David Letterman's here." And then he's like right there, and he's
Yeah.
like, and Guam is leading him around. I'm like, "Guam, don't yell, like,
Yeah, chill,
But he's
dog.
like, "Isn't it cool?" And he's like,
Yeah.
just
It
pointing
is
at him,
cool.
walking. Yeah, it just like be cool about.
Yeah.
And Guam's
Dude, Guam's so ridiculous.
a man with a long, I guess, ponytail.
He has a
but it's-
grown man with a ponytail.
But it's like the monk haircut.
Yeah.
It's shaved, and it's just the ponytail. And he says he wants to die as a door guy. So that's he's going down with the ship. That's nice.
That's so funny. That's yeah, man. I do miss working there. It's a weird thing to say, but I do miss working there. It was a lot of fun.
It's what I end up talking about most of the time because I really do like my job.
You have so many crazy memories. I mean, we got to sit and talk to Jim Carrey in the parking lot.
I did not.
You weren't there that night?
No.
That's the thing that always sucks too is unless you're there when you're working a lot, you're there all the time. But when you're not working, you do miss some nights.
It's
where
a
you're
whole
like-
week and a night.
Yeah, where you're like, it was like, oh shit, everybody from fucking The Roots was hanging out, or like Erykah Badu was in the back just chilling. You're like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We missed like Mike Tyson and Ric Flair by
yeah.
minutes, I think.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah.
It's fun. It is just
It's cool.
a fun.
It's always a crazy.
I've left and driven back.
And if you're cool, come. Oh, that's pretty intense.
Where like I've been like in my parking, and then like who's there, and then I'm like fuck, and then I had to like come back and watch. Yeah, and I still love popping in and watching comics. Like Mulaney popped
Mulaney
back
had
in.
some real. I was just about to say
he had
he's
some funny fucking
he's
jokes.
on fire. Right
Yes.
Patton's been coming by, which
Patton's
is
been
interesting.
great. It's been a lot. Very cool.
Um,
Kathy Ladman's coming back. That's cool. Why are you laughing?
Kathy Laughman.
Kathy Ladman. Ali Wong's so funny. Sarah Tiana's been writing some new stuff, and I've been watching. This really funny.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, how tired of
Silverman
comedy
popped
are
in.
you? Because you also see everyone go up.
It's what I talk about all the time. It's fine. It's good.
My favorite is I'll have a good set.
High as hell. I'll tell you that. Like,
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
My favorite is because I do respect your opinion on comedy because you're such a fucking hard ass and I respect it. I love going, like, I'll get off stage after having a good set and I've seen you come up to me and be like, that was a fun. I'll be like stoked and be like, yeah, that was good. And we're like, oh, so it's cool. It's same 15 from last week, the week before. I'm like, you motherfucker, you son of a bit. But it also makes me think to like, I gotta keep pushing forward and writing and doing new stuff and trying.
well, you're welcome. And what an asshole. What an asshole would say that. Yeah, I'm sorry. And, so, that's how it goes. Yeah. I'm honest with myself, too. I think. I go, yeah, that was a B- set, or that was like C+. That was okay. I did my job. The other day, I really did my job up there. I opened the main room, and it's a cold open, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes there's still really seat in the room, and the room isn't cohesive, and you go up super
It's really
cold,
50-50.
and you go like, and I got off stage, I did my job, and so you're like someone didn't say that. How were they? I go, a lot of smiles. Everyone's grinning ear to ear. It's nice. No, like big.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you're so polite right now.
You're really listening to me. It's gonna be fine for you. Stick it out. You're a good audience. It's gonna be good.
All right, well, we'll do one more. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I
If you're good, that's fine.
think I have stuff left over from I can't have heated that all away, or does it?
Well,
just
this next one
evaporate?
too, I would say it's.
Well, this is also
it's,
about just taste. You don't have to finish anything.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I get you. Then yeah, clear it, and this is like a wine tasting. I get it. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
I'm pretty stoned too.
Yeah, I've been smoking all day. It is pretty wild that, it's fun that we just get to do this.
You really carved out a nice niche for yourself.
Hey,
there.
man, I just tried
Good
to
job.
figure it out. You know what I mean?
Good job.
Those writing rooms are tough to
I
get
bet.
into.
I wouldn't know.
Me neither, dog. What's the next flavor?
This one's gonna be the goji, the lemon goji times sour diesel. It's lemon goji is gonna be one of their proprietary strains, but traditionally it does have lemon OG in it. And then the original sour diesel that's crossed with is gonna be sour OG times sour diesel. So the flavor on this one is very OG Kush, like it's very chlorophyll and very gassy. And the effect though is gonna be all sour diesel, all lemon, like very sativa driven. I smoked a little bit before I headed over here, and I was like stoned the entire drive. I was in my own head the whole time, not really paying attention to the music or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty gnarly sativa, which I don't smoke a ton of, so it definitely set me off guard. But I really enjoyed it now that I kind of know what it is.
Is there a term for a sommelier for weed? Someone's thought of it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think they have programs and stuff as well that you
Yeah.
can sign up for.
Is there a funny weed term for it?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. I
Sound
don't
off
know.
in the comments.
Yeah, no, my big thing is just like I work at a dispensary, and like when we sell weed, like a lot of people aren't necessarily at the point yet where they know like what the names of terpenes, and so like while I think like sommeliers and cannabis are definitely going to be important, I think I like to like relate it to be some things that are like super common, easy to understand, like certain candies or fruits or things that you've tried before.
Is it a respected title, being like a weed sommelier? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it,
Yeah,
or
sure.
is it like getting your bartender's license?
I'm not really sure.
No
I
offense
think
to
it
anyone that's got
all.
their
Yeah, I mean, I
bartender's
think it all
license.
just kind of all kind of depends. I mean, I learned everything that I did from like on-hand training, which a lot of like I guess bartenders would say they do too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where I got the best like feedback from customers and just like learning on the job. But I'm sure some people do learn better in that setting though, where they need to see it all out in front of them and read pages of stuff. Where I don't read so well.
That's fine. Yeah. There's got to be damn it. Someone look up those terms and shout it at us.
Double tap. Turn it on.
Sure. Thank you.
Boom. No pro.
Thank you. How long did you work there at the Comedy Store, Frank?
I think I worked there 6 years. And I didn't come back after the
That long.
Yeah, I didn't come back after COVID when they furloughed everybody.
You had left and then became a paid regular too.
Sort of. I had like left and then came back and just worked phones because shit did not pan out. No,
It's hard.
I mean, it was, but it was.
Congrats on the big win of Rose Battle too. That was
Yeah.
huge for the door guys. We took that as huge. That was huge for us.
Yeah, it was a good win for the door guys. Oh, that was. I guess I could talk
That's
about
tasty.
Woo.
this. Yeah, what are we tasting?
I like that one a lot. Like I said, yeah, it's most of that like that very like traditional OG Kush, very like chlorophyll but gassy taste. But like I said, the thing that impressed me the most was the high on this. I think the sour OG and the lemon OG do add a little bit of that pine in there as well. But like I said, it's really the effect is what kind of blows my mind on this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, same man. I agree with both of you.
You feel it in your eyes really a lot. They start to like close a little bit more. Colors will be a little bit brighter.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
It's gassy. You gotta watch out.
Okay, sorry. What we were just talking about. Do you think getting fired at the store is the best way to quit? Like that, they say
It's
getting
top three.
What's 1 and 2?
Would be getting. Actually, I think getting really famous. That's either 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So, like getting really, going on tours. Okay, yeah, getting really famous. Number 1, going on tour, and then like quitting is probably the best way of quitting. But it's still not bad.
It's not bad. No.
Getting fired is.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
getting. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think some of the
Getting
funniest.
fired for choking out a coworker near the ice machine. Even if it was
Deserved.
earned. Yeah. Even though
That's the
there
thing
was
about the
cause
store
for
is-
a bit of a kerfuffle.
It is literally like family members, like because we're all young. I
Yeah,
mean, I
and we
started
all
working.
hate each other.
Yeah, I
And
started
we
working
love
there
each
when I was
other.
21. I was 23. You're right. All of us are like kids in our 20s working there.
Wow, you were 23.
I was 23 when I I think I was 25 when I got the job. I moved to LA when I was 23.
that makes
25. Some people were younger, so it's like you're brothers and sisters, and you're just all arguing, and some of them wrestle occasionally, and then you get fired.
It is interesting being in my mid to mid 30s and then working with like people who are 22, and I go, this is a very different. We just have different. We're different.
Yeah,
It's very interesting.
yeah. But also
to work that I don't know of what other job really.
But
I
even
guess other jobs, but
well, there's like older people, but there's older people, but they're young in
is it
comedy
the same
too.
in an office though? Like
I
I
don't
guess
know.
the new guy comes
I think,
in the
like,
office.
first-
and
like,
it's
not-
a new person.
My first job, I worked in a movie theater, and there were people that were like definitely older, like, and then there are also people.
What's
who
the
were, like,
grossest thing that's happened in
Oh
that
yeah,
movie
that's
theater?
kind of that makes like
yeah,
a 40-year-old
all over the
usher.
place. Yeah.
Oh,
And you're like,
Jesus.
And you're like, okay.
There's people who
It's just
like.
a
There's
job
one
for
dude who was like a
their second
retired
job or
vet,
something.
like, and he was an older dude, but like he was like collecting like pension checks every month from
Oh, yeah, that's
whatever,
cool.
but also like was like I work every day because I want to. Like drove a Corvette and all. It was very interesting.
That's
But
cool.
scoop popcorn all day. Like he was like, I love this shit.
Yeah,
Like,
sees
Yeah,
free
that's-
movies.
yeah,
and,
exactly,
Like, hangs
free
out,
movies,
gets
yeah.
a little check here and there.
Yeah.
and has
So, I
somewhere
mean,
to go.
He dug it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and he was
Was
a
he
cool
cool?
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I liked
Smoke
him
weed?
a lot. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too chill not to be. Yeah.
I like being.
In the Corvette,
Yeah.
the movie theater. Yeah.
Smoked a lot of weed in that parking lot.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What area of the country?
The Bay Area.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's the first time I smoked like weed at work, and the first time I drank beer at work.
Whoa. I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
I'm talking about drinking at work, but yeah, first job I drank at
Heard
work
of
at
it,
was a
but I
restaurant.
But I feel like restaurants and bars, like it's like duh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Movie theaters, like that maybe go problem.
Sure. Yeah. It's not
Maybe-
as
maybe
Well, not
the
anymore.
adult-
They serve
yeah.
beer at theaters.
nightlife culture.
Maybe the
more
adult who
entertaining.
hooked you up with the beer, you know, has
Oh,
problems.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I
That's
worked
someone to look out for. It's maybe on the prowl.
driving a Corvette, yeah, I
Served our country.
when I worked at the restaurant, one of the guys was telling me he was like the best way to get in with the cooks is to show up with a case of beer, and so I would give him like a 6-pack of beer at the end of the night, and then I would just get to order free food whenever I wanted, and that was like, oh, okay, that's how. That's yeah.
It's crazy, like trade economy can get you.
I worked at a wine and liquor store in New York, and there was a nice brunch spot next door, and like whatever. But bottle of wine, get pizza for a month or whatever. It's pretty good.
Oh, dude, no, we were crazy at the Starbucks in Ventura. We were trading full drink orders, like full drink orders
staff,
for Chipotle orders, dog. The man,
Just a 1-for-1.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the manager at Chipotle. That's one of the big reasons they got fired at that location because they just stopped working there eventually.
Yeah. Fireable
But they would just pull up with like just tons of burritos for us all, and we would just make them drinks.
Fire.
And it was God, if Starbucks only knew all the shit I got over on them.
I used to work at Chipotle, and like the big thing for them is like they're always like the customers always like whatever they need, and so like it was very easy for managers to write shit off because they'd be like a customer was upset and they'd be like I gave him another like it was that simple.
Yeah.
They just had to have like a reason, and
So
so most
Starbucks-
time they probably said that shit all day long.
Starbucks, you had free coupons. There was those free drink coupons, and it got so crazy that people learned they would make them. They'd fake them, and they'd sell them on Amazon for packs, and the SKUs were all like fucked up. But I would just like there's people that I liked. I'd just be like, there you go, and they just be like, why? And I'm like, oh, you're fucking cool. And I would just give them coupons to everybody.
That's funny. That's great. The Prince Street Pizza has one of those things. They give you a little token. They're like, you look good. Yeah, we like your look. It says something like, you're cool. We like your look. Come back. Free slice.
Fire.
Whoa, that Prince Street Pizza hierarchy.
Yeah. You got to buy it a couple times first, and then you come back like the third time. They're like, hey, what's up?
It does feel cool to be a regular at a place.
It's the best. Being a regular at a place is really is something to strive for sure. Knowing when you are and when you're not, is also a tricky dance.
Yep. You don't want to overstep.
We're all human.
Yeah.
As evidenced by messing up on saying we're all human. But you can't write that, but that's pretty funny to mess up while saying that. I'm dying, right? I'm laughing so much. But it's
Scale of 1 to 10, how ripped are you right now?
I'm like 8.5.
It's pretty good. It's pretty. You got such a dry sense of humor. It is very fun to see you ripped. Fury shuts down. I've had him on this.
That's interesting.
It's so funny. Last night we were at the store. You weren't. Damn it, you weren't there. So last night we were at the store.
Oh, you missed it.
You did miss it. So I handed him the Puffco. He took like 2 dabs. Some stuff my friend Edgar gave me, and he like took 2 rips. He's like, I'm gonna go check in the OR. I might go up on fallouts. And then I get a text 5 minutes later, and be like, I just walked straight to my car and went home. He was like, I couldn't do it. He was like, thank you for the smoke, but I gotta go home.
Yeah, no, I took a car. I Ubered here.
Yeah.
Just planning, just being smart and good,
absolutely.
and being nice. And everyone needs to be nicer on the road. That's what I'm all about. It's so hacky to be mad at cyclists and people on bikes and stuff.
What do you think the hackiest things are now in this new era of
That's
comedy?
a big one.
Because it used to be like road hack stuff, but now I think it's changed.
If I hear another turtle and straw bit,
that's funny.
I'm not impressed. It's just the thing. The things you hear about all the time are just do you hate the? I guess it's like this new thing for like appeasing the algorithm kind of deal. I love a big white subtitle. I love to see it. I've never scrolled faster. I break my thumbs scrolling past stand-up clips, and I put them out, and I'm guilty of it. And they're mediocre, but I put a few out, and I got booked on shows, and I was like, really? Fine. God damn it, it works? Fuck. But so I'll double tap. But I was talking in a green room. Kevin Camilla said he watches the premise, and he goes, if he likes the premise, he'll watch the bit.
Yeah, and that's also that's the other thing is that it's like if it's good, people will pay attention.
Crowd work is
oh
fine,
my God,
some people's crowd work is fine.
You're really showing. It's there.
You don't want to burn material,
Well, no,
actually, here's some.
I think
Moses Storm. This is the most name droppy episode. We're just mentioning people. I'm sorry. But he put out a video recently on Instagram about having to, he puts out a lot of content. And then he also was like, we are competing with like people showing their ass and like boobs and dick and like it'd be like we're competing with that algorithm as stand-up comics. Like it's not a good.
No. The explore page, yeah. You gotta so you get it doesn't like a slice of cheese.
He was much more poetic about it though. Yeah.
A slice of cheese hitting a toddler's face is funnier than some of the best things that have ever been written.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And sometimes that just blows
Better than
up.
a Bill Burr special.
Exactly. You know what I mean? It's just it's tough with the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll never write as good a joke as like America's Funniest Video, someone get hit in the nuts. And that's just how it goes. For that.
Sometimes I truly appreciate like silliness. Like I say it all the time. Darren Carter.
I like him as the
party starter.
Yeah, I call him Mr. Starter.
Which is so funny.
He does a great closing out of like the main room or whatever. If he can do like 30 minutes, he's so fun. He's fresh and like an act and a weird guy, and it's fun to watch at the end.
I brought Sour Waves. He went to the store. He got to hang out, and he watched Potluck. He watched Darren Carter go up. And
Sure.
My friend Sour Waves is also a ginger.
Yeah,
and I was just
beatbox.
I was like, "You're gonna love this," and he was just like, "Huh?" And he watched him, and he immediately loved everything because he was beatboxing, and the crowd was like tired and like not really trying to give him anything.
Different.
And he just got him. It was just, dude, it was so funny. They loved him by the end.
You ever
of
seen
it.
him do an Armenian show?
No.
If there's like an Armenian themed show, he will go up and be like Honest John. You know Honest John?
Yes.
And will just destroy because he's married to an Armenian woman and he knows some of the terms and he peppers them in and he gets them. Everyone's like, it's like seeing Martin Lawrence in his heyday. You know what I mean? Like people are falling out. It's like seeing Stuart Thompson at the Throckmorton for all those parents, those Democrat grandparents. He has them falling out, man. Damn.
That's such an inside reference.
He gave me this hat. Shout out to Stuart Thompson.
Oh, yeah. I love Stu Boo.
Yeah.
Dude, so funny. He was great. That era of Comedy Store was fun too. Him as a door guy, and the open mic scene at that time when it was still paper and pen.
Yeah. Yeah, he was part of the dark days of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, but he was a prim and proper little lad. Mm-hmm. He really, he was a good guy. Lived with him for years. You knew that.
So fun. It's always funny that
we had a podcast where the shtick was we hated each other. But
but you lived together.
Yeah, but we hated each other. I love that guy so much.
Checking. What time are we at? Perfect. Let's do. Did we do the third one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just do my own one. You don't have to partake in this if you don't want to.
I'm done. Calling it.
Any last question?
This shit has me stuck, dude.
Does it?
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Told you
Just
this.
the
It's
the sativa?
terps, yeah. Too much for me.
We weren't running into it for a while, and now what? You think it's just back?
No, I just think certain strains. I think it's like normally. It's also not like sativas aren't as common as a lot of indicas, and a lot more indicas, I believe, are like kind of make better tasting hash or smoke better, like more creamy, more like funky flavors. Certain strawberries and stuff taste good as sativas, but I haven't really dabbed a sour diesel. Sour diesel has always been popular though in hash, and like the first time I ever dabbed ice water hash, it was Super Silver Haze. So it's still popular. It's just always been a little much for me.
I could tell I'm high because the hot knife was right there, and I didn't.
What'd you use?
I used just a regular dab stick that I dropped.
Got it.
Man, I'm pretty fucking wrecked. Is there anything you want to plug before we start to get out of here?
I have a podcast because why wouldn't I? It's the Doorcast, and it's I do it for now, and it's funny. It's a fun time.
It is. Well, it's one of my.
Some of them are very good.
It's all the door guys and people that work at the store
and
talking.
Hey, if you subscribe, you don't have to listen. Just subscribe to it. I don't give a shit. But yeah, do me a favor.
Oh, can you?
I subscribe to this one.
Oh,
I
thank
must.
you. I appreciate you.
I subscribe to a bunch of them. All my friends' ones.
Can you? You don't have to name names, but can you tell the pizza story? The person that dressed up like a pizza guy and signed up for the open mic.
Oh, you love this. And
it's one of my favorites.
It was the Artichoke Man.
It was the Artichoke Man.
And it was a character this person did. and she went all out, dressed in the wig and the everything, came to potluck. She didn't get up. You're not getting picked.
So they had to sit there in a full artichoke costume
They were just
and
they had
wait.
like a little wig and like I think they drew on a mustache.
They ended up getting up on Friends and Family.
I don't think so.
No, they did. Someone tossed them up. Because I remember I got up and I remember walking past and I remember watching another comic plead with the host being like, come on, they dressed up in an artichoke costume. I just remember laughing so hard.
You know, I remember she did that one time, but I don't think it was the same time.
Yeah, it was.
But it was that night? Okay.
And they're
Cheapens
millionaire
my
now.
experience of it, but that's okay. Cheapens the story.
Now that you know some backstory?
What?
Nothing.
I'm also on Instagram and Twitter. Those are the ones I do. Fucking Renee the other day said he's still on Snapchat. No, he's like,
what?
I'm doing some stories there. He's like, I talked to one friend there, but I post and stuff. I go, all right, go.
Renee is.
That's interesting. What an
Renee.
interesting choice.
Renee's
of
one
social
of.
media.
He's such a ridiculous character. Yeah, have you talked to him or just sat and watched him? You've seen him do stand up, have you?
For sure. Yeah.
No.
Very nice, normal boy.
I think he's hosted a show or two. You've been on that we've like.
He's
gone
actually. I've seen him.
There's a lot of dirt on this episode. I was just talking both sides.
I mean, that's just how we do it. Yeah. One of my favorite Renee stories. Were you there when Hormos had a bad set recently? So Hormos, very funny comic. I love him. I think I told the story once already on the podcast, but I'm gonna do it again. So Hormos was
my podcast too. That Frank has been on.
Yeah, exactly. It's so. Oh no, I did tell this story to you. So Hormos.
This might be the story you told on my podcast.
No, I did.
It.
Yeah, I did. I told you on the podcast. So Potluck's my favorite because it's great. So many new comics every 3 minutes. Hormos goes up. And Hormos is kind of pushing the edge of some of his bits. Mm-hmm. He has an abortion joke that's it's stupid and kind of silly. And it's just dumb. I'm not going to explain it.
Some people are going to be offended by abortion no matter what you say. Yeah. And he's not the most, gentle and nuanced.
But he wasn't like, the joke wasn't like pro-abortion, or I can't remember if I said him correctly.
I'm just going to let you hang on.
He was, oh, God damn it, I don't know what the correct terminology. He was on the liberal side of things. Is that the best way? All right, cool, sweet. And some lady just booed him, right? And it was just such a weird boo because it was like. I can't
remember pro-choice.
He was, He was like, what? He was like, what are you booing? And then like they start arguing. And they really start going at it. And it gets like, it was one of those things that like, ooh, he
almost goes too far too quickly.
Yeah, so it was like, there's definitely a way to handle a heckler. So I was just like, it was like, all right, that's funny to see how this thing's, we'll see how he handles it. And then he just immediately starts like insulting her and like her kid. It gets bad. Like all of us are like, oh, none of us would have done that.
No.
But all right, we're watching, good job, Doc.
Choice.
We'll see how it goes.
Full of interesting choices, wouldn't you agree?
Oh my God. And the audience it was so weird with the audience because like the audience is 50-50 where they're kind of on the side of this woman because, he's being a dick. And they're also kind of on the side of like, she's still ruining the show, so it's fine. And then he like kind of digs himself a hole and then he finishes the joke and everything. So it's this really weird energy, right?
Yeah, right.
And then Alex Hanna goes up, does a great job of kind of like controlling the room as the host.
Brings up Renee.
He it's a good little neutral spot, right? And then Renee comes up, and the way he introduces Renee is he's just like, there's no one that I can trust that can turn this room around than this next comic. Give it up for Renee Lancaster. And all the comics die laughing because Renee is very he's hit or miss. He's very weird. For some reason, he hit this out of the park. He walks up and goes, so about abortion, and everyone loses their minds. And then he just goes into his like, he's
could have gone the other way, but
it so could have got the other way.
His way. It was
but
pretty fun.
Everyone started dying laughing, and then he goes and he's just very like weird. He has jokes about like Moby Dick and like books and like just really like odd choices of stuff.
I put him after. I had Chris Rock show up at a couple different potlucks that I was hosting, And it just happened to be like a couple months apart that I was hosting both of them. And both times I put Renee after Chris Rock. And both times he delivered with a solid like B+ set. Like it was really cool. I was like, God damn.
It's crazy.
What the hell is going
Like the only times I've seen him like crush is intense, high pressure situations. And there's times where he'll go up at regular and then he'll just be like, and you're just like, you know, but I love him. I love him to death because he's so ridiculous. I know that's not how you wanted to end this episode.
No, I think everyone wants to end this episode. I'm feeling the listeners go, okay, enough with the Comedy Store.
Well, I mean, you know, it's
For
not
more,
like
check out the Doorcast. It's definitely a podcast.
dude, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for coming,
Thanks for
Doug.
coming by, bro.
Thank you,
Thank
both.
you, JP. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Puffco. Thank you, Third Wheel. Have a good day, guys.